With Marvel at the edge of collapse, with Ironheart destroying it on Disney Plus, and with fear that Marvel could be near 3 flops for the entire year, the one thing they definitely needed was Pedro Pascal, Peepaw himself, picking a fight, nay I say a war, with J.K. Rowling. Oh yeah, that's what Disney needed. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel that continues to give you what you need when it comes to the latest and greatest in entertainment coverage. Wiping out the legacy media one video at a time simply by telling the truth with a capital T. And folks, did you know? If you're interested in theme park news, I'll be over on That Park Place, the YouTube channel That Park Place, every single weekday in the month of July, in the mornings, in the AM, with an additional video going back to my roots, talking about what's going on at Disney World and Epic Universe. Join us there and subscribe to That Park Place. All right, you came here for Pedro. We're going to give you Pedro. Disney would like to have less of Pedro because, wouldn't you know it, he's at war with J.K. Rowling. Genius! Click the like button. Let's dive in now. All right, just when you thought that the Fantastic Four was going to be devoid of any controversies, that maybe Disney had put the scuttle on hustle and destruction of their movies, maybe they didn't want to be Zeglered again, well, Pedro is not done. Out of Variety, Pedro Pascal wants a war with J.K. Rowling. Pedro Pascal, we are now weeks away from the Fantastic Four releasing to theaters. We are weeks away. Pedro is choosing to go Rachel Zegler. Out of Variety, Pedro Pascal and J.K. Rowling. Bullies make me blanking sick. Wonder who he's talking about. Oh yeah, J.K. Rowling. Pascal, that's Pedro. That's Peepaw power, right? That's what the media have tried to tell you, that he's got the power of Peepaw. He was the daddy of the internet. That was their story for 10 years. Now they're saying he's the grandfather of the internet. He's Peepaw. He's our Summer Sizzle. Pascal previously slammed Rowling's, quote, heinous loser behavior, unquote, after the Harry Potter author celebrated an let's see, how do I want to phrase this? After J.K., you all know J.K. Rowling's beliefs. We don't have to say it.
Hey, standing up for women's rights to be by themselves in the locker room and the bathroom.
Yeah. Ruling in the United Kingdom. Now he's defending what he said about J.K. Rowling, and I would say he's going 10 steps more. The one thing that I would say I agonized over a little bit was just, am I helping? Am I blanking helping? He wonders aloud to Variety, because you have to know that Pedro is just a bundle of virtuosity. Folks, you need to understand this. All he was doing when he attacked J.K. Rowling, all he wanted to do was just be the best man he can be. And now, when he lays in bed at night and ponders with his glow stick whether or not he should have done that, it all comes down to, was he helpful? Was attacking a woman verbally the right thing to do? He says go ahead.
I was going to say, he didn't just attack, and I made this point in our article about this on That Park Place. Not only is he attacking a woman, he's attacking a survivor, a victim, someone who speaks on these issues from a place of extreme trauma because she suffered the way so many other women have suffered. And that doesn't matter to Peepaw. That doesn't matter at all, because his little brother likes to say that he's a girl. So Pedro all of a sudden has to be the chick. J.K. Rowling and all of her issues, all the horrible things that have happened to her and women all over the planet doesn't matter, because Pedro Pascal has a family member that wants to be called a girl. It's disgusting.
He says the one thing that I would say I agonize over, am I helping? Am I blanking helping? It's a situation that deserves the utmost elegance so that something can actually happen and people will actually be protected. Listen, I want to protect the people I love, but it goes beyond that. Bullies, referring to J.K. Rowling, make me blanking sick. Make me blanking sick.
You're bullying a survivor right now is what you're doing, Pedro.
So just as the Fantastic Four is getting ready to go out the door, just as Disney is hoping that they get a win, and by the way, there are billions of dollars resting on this man. Disney recently did an expo, by the way, and two of their, in this big expo, they've got images, giant images of their upcoming movies and franchises. For Marvel, they had Pedro's picture. For Star Wars, They had Pedro under the mask of the Mandalorian. There are billions of dollars riding on this man, and he is waging war with J.K. Rowling instead of doing the PR campaign that Disney probably wants, which is to say, hey, Pedro, could you talk about how cool superheroes are? That's what we'd like, not waging war with a woman who has endured these sorts of things in the past. All right, let's open it up to the panel. Culture, we start with you, sir. What do you think about the idea that Disney's got a new Ziegler?
Well, look, this is exactly what they didn't need. And it's something that I actually talked about briefly on the 6 Minute Daily this morning. I have to tell you that Pedro is never held accountable for his actions. And I think that's the other problem with what Ziegler was doing and many other stars and starlets in Hollywood, that just, they aren't held accountable. They aren't held to their contracts. They aren't held to a standard that used to be, just common courtesy. They find themselves engaged in controversy, thinking that it helps them, when in reality, we're now seeing in real time just how much it can damage, whether it be a brand or a person's career. I think that the last thing you should do is attack somebody who's wildly successful and is kind of a darling in Hollywood despite her opinions. They wouldn't be making more of her material if that wasn't the case. And if you look forward to this TV show that's going to be popular for a decade, whether or not any of us agree with some of the odd stunt casting, I'll say this, you're aligning yourself with future failure, just like Rachel Zegler's discovering. That's what I think of it. I don't understand why you attack a woman in the first place who's merely expressing themselves. But then again, I've never considered him mentally stable, so perhaps it speaks more to that than anything else.
Right, and I'll tell you this. There is a defense now that is happening, and it is strange to me. It is very, very strange. Let me go to this right now and show you. Inside that Variety article, which is talking about this and basically defending Pedro and going after J.K. Rowling, it says, in the aftermath of Pascal's comment, some of Rowling's defenders started sharing a viral clip of the actor taking his Fantastic Four co-star Vanessa Kirby's hand at Comic-Con in order to somehow prove Pascal is presumptuous with women. But Kirby isn't having that. Now, they're going to present this as if this is new. This is a quote that's very old and seems to be a gentle PR defense of Pedro. We're going to show you the clip in just a minute. First of all, it wasn't just Rowling's defenders. It was everybody, because it's weird. Because everything this guy does is weird. So it trends because weird things trend. Like a kitten that can play the piano using only its tail. Except in this case, it just makes you go, what the heck's going on here? This is unpleasant. A cat playing the piano with its tail? That's fun. Pedro tickling his co-star on the arm and her having enough of that? Strange. It goes on to say, here's the quote, and the quote is presented as if maybe, this is new. It's not. What happened, according to Kirby, is we were both incredibly nervous going out in front of thousands of people who love this comic. Because movie stars are always nervous when they go out in front of people. They're not used to that sort of thing. I just want you, folks, now wait a minute. You listening right now, did you feel sarcasm? Did you feel skepticism? I can't believe you. You think that I'm being dishonest about that and that movie stars actually enjoy being in front of thousands of people? I can't believe it. That's what Kirby told Vanity Fair, though. They were nervous. He wanted me to know that we were in this together. We movie stars who are so unused to being in front of a giant crowd, we are in it together. We can get through this. We're going to do it. We're going to make it. We're going to be okay. We did not, as movie stars, in a giant superhero movie, seek out this kind of attention. We never thought we would be in front of a crowd, but we're going to do this together. And I found it a lovely gesture and was very glad to squeeze his hand back. All right. So why in the world they wanted to bring this up? I don't know. Maybe they're nervous about it. I don't know. But you know what? We're going to play it. This is Pedro tickling the arm of Vanessa Kirby on stage, and then she reaches and grabs his hand. He doesn't look nervous. She doesn't look nervous. She looks confident. He looks smiley, Joker-esque, but he tickles her arm. That's why does Variety feel they need to do this? Well, because I believe that they think that Pedro is weak, that there are places, there are weaknesses in his armor, and calling out J.K. Rowling puts him in a bad place. As Marvin was explaining, she's been the victim of some stuff in the past. And of course, J.K. Rowling is nobody's victim today. She is tough, she is tenacious, and she overcomes everything. All right, let's now go to Nat. Nat, walk us through. You're an expert in everything Pedro. We've had you on the channel before, walking through his secret history. What do you make of this, and why are they immediately going to the defense of poor Pedro? He's just so anxious and anxiety ridden in front of people. He's not used to this sort of thing.
I just thought that clip was kind of, if you've ever been, like, as a woman, if that's ever happened to you, it is kind of weird when people just touch you randomly for no reason and then come up with excuses. I'll just leave that at that. But at the same time, J.K. Rowling has proven time and time again that she's impervious to cancellation, basically. She'll still have supporters. There's still people that love Harry Potter, even though they try not to mention her name, but they still watch it and they consume and they buy a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. So for me, whenever they start saying, oh, J.K. Rowling got canceled, or let's not say her name, the fact that they're still consuming the property and the work of magic that came from her is very telling, in my opinion. But at the same time with Pedro, like, his whole demeanor and his whole thing is about trying to be a different kind of man. So taking away the toxicity of masculinity, but at the same time, he's proving to do the exact same. So I think they're just trying to come up with more and more excuses for him and his behavior in case more stuff comes out. And
now,
also,
wait a minute.
He still has Disney.
Now, wait a minute. Nat, hang on just a second. So you're telling me that, one, Pedro was not, in fact, just a nervous nilly who couldn't handle his way in front of that crowd, and he wasn't tickling Miss Kirby's arm just because of anxiety. But then also, you're telling me that Pedro might not be the person they want us to believe? I'm just shocked at this. I'm just shocked.
And with the whole, also, you mentioned the whole daddy nickname and now trying to change it as well. I think maybe it might be to hide if anybody ever Googles Pedro Pascal dad, so that comes up. That whole media campaign of calling him daddy comes up instead of, Jose P. Balmaceda, his father.
Nat! Oh my gosh, I never thought of that. That is 4D chess. Okay, wait. We got to get that. Okay. Nat, you're saying, let me see if I've got this right. Nat is telling us that because there are significant things that maybe don't want to be seen by Hollywood about Pedro and his dad, that they invented this dad of the internet so that would flood the search engine results when you look up Pedro dad or Pedro father. No, that's genius. No, yeah. Because that is it's such a strange marketing thing, and they've been doing it for 10 years.
He's not a dad.
Oh my gosh, that makes perfect sense. Wow.
So who knows? But I mean, it would be a good way to try to, move that around without many people noticing what actually would come up.
Wow. I feel like I've just experienced somebody else's epiphany right here on live. Okay. Take a look at this though, Ron. Talking about this appropriate masculinity. Is it appropriate masculinity to say that J.K. Rowling, who's been someone who's endured inappropriate action against her, that she makes you blanking sick and that she's a bully and all of the stuff that he's been saying about her, beyond the financial implications for Disney and Fantastic Four, this doesn't look to me to be proper masculinity.
No, I think it's disgusting, and it's quite unfortunate that I hate bringing up this name, but it makes me think of, and I think the influencer's name is like Lily or Lilo Tino, something like that. It is an influencer who is very much of a male person who simply looks like...
Hang on just a second, Ron. Hang on just... Let me say this.
Okay.
On the Patreon, folks.
Yeah.
I'm actually covering this exact topic that Ron is leading into. And what I've said on the Patreon is one of the reasons we're not covering it on the Pro Channel is I believe it's a trap. Okay. I actually think that entire thing is a trap for YouTubers who want to cover it. And so we're going to be careful, Ron, and not spotlight that specifically because okay, go for it.
Well, my point is that person and people like that, of that ilk, are in fact the actual bullies. They walk around with a chip on their shoulder and they purposefully get people to do things they know that they're going to do so they can bully them, right? And that's what I don't like. And Pedro is very much being the bully in this case against J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, in my personal opinion, she wrote this amazing story, Harry Potter, the whole series, and it becomes a phenomenon worldwide. And she's actually, as far as I know, a pretty liberal person herself. So the fact that she's out there as a liberal woman wanting to be a feminist and protect women, it makes sense. Her point of view is simply that, protecting women. So if you go against somebody who is protecting women, does that not make you the bully? And also, as far as the nervousness, I got to say this. A lot of actors who don't do stage and don't do theater, and even some that do, but especially those who are behind or in front of the camera, and that's their world. It's just this and the camera. They actually do get really anxious, really nervous in front of crowds. But to me, that is never an excuse to inappropriately fondle somebody's arm or some weird stuff like that. Whether I don't even care if it's a guy or a girl. I'll be honest with you, as a theater person, I've had that happen to me from other theater people, and it's very cringe, and I've never liked it. And it's really, really hard when you're like, hey, I'm the straight white guy here. I'm the guy who can't say anything about it because I'm the one that gets blamed. It's very, very annoying, by the way.
Yeah, and I just need to apologize right now, folks. Ron and I were at a con together at one point, and he was nervous about meeting a celebrity. I don't know why. He knows all of them already. But Ron, I awkwardly grabbed your tricep as a way to bring you down and let you know it was going to be okay. I was trying the Pedro way of reassuring you, and I want to apologize. I have just discovered that tickling the tricep is not, in fact, the way to help people with anxiety issues. I apologize, Ron. Truly.
Well, thank you very much. I've been wondering about that, so I appreciate it.
That's right. All right, folks, that is the story on Pedro as we continue to go through Disney facing yet again another Rachel Zegler situation. We're just a month away from the release of a movie. Somebody's out there starting another piece of drama that Disney doesn't need, this time with billions on the line. As we get ready, let me just say this too. Ron, I was talking about this whole the trap situation. Let me explain this to folks out there, okay? I'm going to use a different scenario, and panel, if you want to weigh on this, you can. Back when The Acolyte came out, all of a sudden, there was this video that landed from the young star of The Acolyte where she's singing, right? And she's traveled to go to this song, and we're told that the video was made impromptu as a response to fan reaction. But it also just so happens that a copyright claim is set up and automated for said video that was put together in 2 days, which means that 99% chance the whole thing was a setup. And some of our colleagues out there played the video so that they could cover it, believing that it was fair use and believing that she was telling the truth, that she made it in 2 days and whatever. And boom, 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 all of their channels got hit. And all of the money that was made from advertising for those videos suddenly were going somewhere else. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about traps. There are times when we have to be one step ahead of situations. So I don't want to go too far into that, but just wanted to use that as an example. And that's what I was talking about. Helping Hollywood produce a product that you want to consume. That's what we do each and every day, folks. And this time, it's time to, well, say goodbye. We know, but don't cry. No, for we will have more videos on the way. We love to bring those videos and that information. And by the way, if you'd like even more, consider going to the Patreon page. It's www.patreon.com/WDW Pro. It's where we put out stuff exclusively there that we simply can't put out in other places for whatever reason, be it because it's too spicy or because, well, perhaps we're working to corroborate it. But you can find out things early and first over there. Folks, we surely have had a great time spending time with you. Consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to those pesky algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Jump into the water! Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.